Okay, so to pick up from where we left off this morning, we had set up a chatbot, we had set up a React front end, and we set up some Lambdas uh, to interact with Lex. And what we're going to do now, because as we saw this morning, the chatbot wasn't very helpful with anything aside from the three messages that we tried out asking for help with laptops, but anything different from that didn't really return any useful responses. So what we're going to do this afternoon is look at how that code works and look at how we can expand on that behavior to create more functionality. So let's see. This picks up right from where we left off in the morning. We are going to add validation through Terraform, and then we'll look at the code, the React code for additional messages to add. Okay, so I did not deploy my chatbot to an S3 bucket. I'm trying to see if I need to, or if I could just continue skipping that step. I could also just go ahead and do it anyway. So let's see, where were we? We were here. Okay. Actually, I think I already did this. Did I do this? Might have done it. Actually, don't remember now. Let's see. Directory. Oh, right, chat app. Am I blind? Oh, okay. Oh, I did do this actually. Okay, so we're good to go. We'll pick up right where we left off. Whoops, it's not the right URL. All right. Okay. So like we saw this morning, it's not very helpful besides outside of the three commands that we had. What we saw that in our terminal, I think, or no, we saw it on the README. I think we saw it on the README. Let's see. Yep, here it is. Where's my order? And it's going to give us this message. And it gives us this message because that's essentially what we've programmed it to do, right? We really only have these three messages where we're specifying the exact message based on the intent. And it identifies that intent based on, where is it? Where did we set this? I'm actually blanking on where we set this. In the Lambda templates, maybe. Oh, right. Okay. So our utterances were inside of our Terraform, and we can we can add more of this. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna hurt to add more of these. So that's what we're gonna do. We are gonna update our messages. We are gonna update our utterances, and let's just look through the README one more time. I'm gonna scan through to see what all the commands are that I'll need to run, and we'll run through them. Okay, I'm gonna have this here. Okay, so let's start by adding some validation to our status intents. We go to our order status. We can update our intents. So let's go over to where's today's lab? There it is. Oh, there it is. Our intents and okay. So what we had before, we had a customer service, and a lot of this is going to stay the same. Our for each will still come from the intent configs. We will still use the same bot ID, locale ID version. Um, I might have actually already done this earlier. If you guys don't have this, add it. You will create a find, or sorry, you will create a Lex intents.tf. Doesn't look like it's right because this looks like it's exactly the same as what's in the README. So let's now go over to our and the function. I'm going to go over to our order status. And let's see, what do we need to change here? All right, it looks like we're going to be adding a check at the very beginning. So let's go to the top of our code. This looks the same so far. We are logging the full event. We are adding a validation. So before we specify the intent, yeah, before we specify the intent, so about here, I'm going to add some additional logic. All right, let's look through this line by line. We're going to first check to see if this is a validation request by comparing the source of the invocation to this string. And if so, we are going to specify the intent slots that we need to reference. And we are going to uh, store session attributes inside of this variable. From there, we um, will try to retrieve an order number. And that's why we have these uh, all the question marks, but I'm blanking on like the actual term for it is. You guys have seen ternaries, right? Basically, a ternary is an expression where you have if x or x equals, let's do x equals y. So our operand is the equals, and in JavaScript, we would type something like this, right? Um, 10 or 20. And what this is basically saying is, I would actually think that it might be something more like this. So Z, we're going to set the value to Z based on if X equals Y. And if it does, then Z is going to be 10. Otherwise, it's going to be 20. That's more or less what a ternary is. And so in JavaScript, when we utilize these question marks at the end of these variables, what we're really doing is we're saying, okay, if this value exists, use it. Otherwise, don't, because it's there to prevent errors and failures. Where are we? Okay. So if we have an order number, we're going to check for that value. If it has a value, then we're going to retrieve that interpreted value, and that's going to be our order number. So if we have an order number and that length is less than 5, or we have this or, so we could use some regex to validate that order number as well, then we will return a proper session state object where we um, specify the dialog action we want. We want to elicit a slot, and we want to specifically elicit an order number. So let's save, let's rebuild, and let's see this in action. Let me just scroll through and make sure there aren't any other changes. Looks like this was the same. Yep, all of the rest looks the same. All right, cool. This is our Lambda. So we need to save this and we need to rebuild. So back into Terraform, we're going to run Terraform. Let's actually do a Terraform plan first. Okay, so what we see here is because we've made some changes, uh, Terraform is tracking that through uh, by comparing our state against the values that we've just added. So it's letting us know that more or less these are going to update in place, but these are going to have to be destroyed and recreated, which is good, which is what we want. So let's go ahead and hit enter. Let's run Terraform apply. If this looks good to me, I always tend to forget that I could use out. You could use out to save the plan. Um, and I'm going to pass in auto approve. And that should succeed. Okay. Do we need to rebuild the bot? I'm wondering. I don't think we need to rebuild the bot. I think if we're just updating the Lambda, we shouldn't need to rebuild the bot. So let's go over to our, well, first I'm going to copy this order number and I'm going to say, where is that browser? Help me with my order. That was what it was, right? Okay, cool. Let's try this order number. Okay. Let me just make sure. Did we skip a step? Let's see. So we updated our order status intent, right? We did that. And unless I'm like crazy here, let me just double check this. Yeah, no, it's the same. So that's the same. We've updated our order status. This is all our Terraform so far. So wait, this doesn't look right. I don't see this. Oh, wait, no, there it is. Yeah. No, that's there. Okay, so that's there. All of the rest is unchanged. All right. Okay, you guys are following along, right? I wanna know if anybody is running into the same issue, or if anybody was able to get their order number to be recognized. Why do I have to rebuild the bot? It doesn't seem right to me. I'm gonna try it, but that's the CLI script from this morning. Was there a CLI script from this morning? Okay. I don't even remember running this morning. I just ran npm install manually. Okay. Let's see what else. What else? What else? What else? Okay, now this looks like I'm missing it, and I definitely don't remember running this. Let's see. Oh, or I do remember actually running it, I think. I remember a Python command from this morning. Let's see. Let's just double check. No? Yeah, there it is. So we did run this morning. The CLI setup should have done everything that we needed. I guess we could rerun it to. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I see. So we updated the Lambda, but we have to also pass in the Lambda because we're passing in the Lambda. Did the ARN update? Let's see. Okay. I if this has more than one search result, then yeah, it didn't change. It was the same from this morning, I believe. But whatever. Let's try it. Let's try rebuilding. So where were we? We were gonna run the Python script. Uh, how's my setup? Do I have my scripts directory here? Yep. Okay. Not authorized to perform. Is that right? Yeah, that's the right account. Let's see. So I must be missing something else. Okay. Okay, so that's no longer here. All right, what else is missing? Let's see if this is missing or not. We saw this in the output, so it shouldn't be missing. And it is missing. Um, I'll rerun this. And now let's just verify. There it is. There that is. Let's try this again. I wonder if I ran that here earlier. Okay, while that's building, let's look ahead. Let's see what's next. Uh, I'm going to update the source config. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong one. That was back in the morning. Okay, so here we are. We are now, Terraform apply. We are now adding confirmation. Okay, so let's refresh or we go with that confirmation step. Let's actually just make sure that we get some kind of new response. So let's try 1, 2, 3. Nope. And let's try still. Oh, wait, no. Just wondering if there was something I forgot. I don't think there is. Oh, right. It's set to rebuild it, right? Okay, let's try that. Okay. Right. And then once we build it, we'll have to rerun the sync command. And I need to run my sync command with this. And now we should be in a good place. Okay, so let's try again. Help me with my order. Let's give it an invalid one first. Damn, same thing. All right, what are you guys getting so far? Anyone getting a response at this point? The right response?
Maybe just to see how many folks are working on it simultaneously. No, no, Robbie. Okay, just Robbie.
Who is yeah, how many of you guys finished this morning's lab? That's Robbie.
I think it was close, but now that I tried Terraform apply,
Mhm.
I'm getting an error. So
Okay. All right. Yeah, keep hacking away at those errors. I'm gonna see, let's see. Um, was there anything I missed? I don't know. I don't think there was. What kind of errors are you getting, Robbie?
yeah, after I run the Terraform, it's telling me in I think I didn't specify product name and sample utterance. So I'm trying to find that.
Was that from today? Or was that from
Yeah,
earlier this week?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, oh, oh. This didn't finish. I thought it did. How many times did we? Okay. Unable to retrieve resource since it does not exist. Does not exist. Why doesn't it exist? Let's just double check this. Am I in US East 1 or US East 2? Oh, no, none of these. I'm in US East 1. Let's see. Okay, let's see what's going on in AWS. Let's go to Lex. Let's make sure we're in the right region. Yeah, there it is. So, resource not found. Fail to retrieve resources. Does it exist? Why? That's so weird. All right. So in a case like this, we could look at the script itself and see where it's failing. We know that it's getting up to this point, creating a new bot. So we could Command F search that. Um, so here, I wonder if it's got something to do with the version. Oh, version. Let's see, what version do we actually have? No, it's been creating them. So why is it turning this error? Describe bot version. Create a new bot version from draft. Let's see. All right, let's see exactly where it's failing. So let's try. Whoops, can't do that actually. Need to be in a Python environment, and I would need to import all of that. I don't want to do that actually. So let's see. Create bot version. Okay, so it's failing here. I'm pretty sure it's failing here because when calling the describe bot operation. So what is going on? Let's see. Args.region should be the same. We're passing in a lot of the same values. Let's clean this up a bit. Um, oh, that's interesting. Uh, why is it like this? Wait for status, response. Okay, because this wait for status function expects a region, and then it expects a description of the command. So that's why we have this in a list. And that's why we have speed2, describe bot, uh, bot ID, bot version, mm, bot status. Right. I wonder if it needs more time. Okay, so this is around where we fail. Getting about 4, 215 is around where we fail. And so first in step 2, we are building the draft locale. Oh, you want to build the version. I'm wondering if there is some kind of delay that's causing this to fail. I wonder if let's just try turning this up 20 seconds. And while we're waiting on these results, because we've spent a decent amount of time on this already, I'm gonna run this by Claude. Okay. All right, can y'all see this? Let's see. Let's actually have that in there. Let's wrap that in there. And then let's say, oh, it's actually creating. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So it was a timeout issue, right? Right. I guess we don't need you, Claude. Go back to your room.
So I had Claude waiting on the side saying it
Oh,
was a timeout issue on the
nice.
yeah, which was cool that you got there in the same, same way that Claude was also recommending a timeout on the um, describe bot version.
So
Check.
did I get there first or did Claude get there first?
Well, you got there first. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. So let's see. We've got now we could export these and why are we doing this? We're gonna export this. What do we need this for? Trying to remember what this part is. Let's just run that. Okay, so that gives us our bot ID. Cognito identity. Is this where we would update the, I'm getting lost here. Let's see. I don't think we need to update anything else. I think they should be the same values that we had earlier. The, identity, pool ID, v bot alias ID. I mean, we don't need to see that. We could see that it's actually there. Okay, that only returned one value. So, okay, what's that? I guess they can't echo, but maybe if I had put them in. Oh no, this is empty. Why is this empty? Oh, it's empty because I didn't type it right. Okay, cool. And I just want to verify that my config file has these same values. Yep, that looks the same. This looks the same, so we don't have to change anything. Okay, but we reran the setup script, so hopefully it will now give us the result we want. Oh no, what do I do? I probably have to rebuild it. I ran this, and what happened? Oh, it's probably a different URL. Now let's try a different URL. Let's grab that. And hello, help me with my order. 1, 2, 3. Ah, damn. Okay, we are gonna we are gonna move forward and see if anything else is giving us different results. All right. So where were we? We added our validation phase. And unfortunately, it's not giving us the result we want, which is for it to confirm that it doesn't look right. Um, I wonder if I'm just getting ahead of myself here, but that's what this says. Let's just keep going. So let's see. Next, we would update our return request intent to add confirmation. So let's go back to our return request, and we want to update the intent inside of the Terraform. So let's go here. We're going to find our for each resource and add a dynamic block for the confirmation setting. All right, so for each bot ID, name, description, dynamic sample utterance. This is what we are adding. All right, so what is this saying? We're going to have a new dynamic confirmation setting, and basically for each item in this list, if it is a return request, then we return that index, or we return nothing. And again, this is that ternary syntax that I was referring to earlier. And again, what this expression is we are specifying a variable that we're going to output all of this to, right? So that's our output variable. And the condition in the middle, this expression in the middle, is basically the comparison that we want to check for a true or false value. And that's essentially just all uh, ternaries work off of. It wants to know if this is either true or false. If it's true, it's going to return this first value. If it's false, it's going to return that second value. So one of these two results is going to be assigned to for each. So it will either be a list of everything that it can find or nothing. Let's see. So are we sure you want to return this order? We specify retries, and because it's asking a question, we want to also be able to uh, include a response for when the user does or if they say no. Okay, so let's toss this in here. Save. What else do we need? Fulfillment hook. This is the same. That's the same. Now we're going to update the Lambda to handle the confirmation. So back to our return request. We are adding this block of code. Why is in the right file? I'm wondering why this line is missing from here. I wonder if that was just an accident. Or let me actually read through this. Okay, that it wasn't missing, it was just moved into here. So I need to delete that now because that's a duplicate. Oh, that's also a duplicate. I don't actually need all that either. Oh, yeah, I copied too much. And from here, we are specifying confirmation state. And we then just use a simple uh, conditional check. If it is denied, then we return this state. Okay. Save. All the rest looks like it's the same. Now we just rerun our Terraform apply. Okay, and again, it wants us to rebuild our bot. Right, CD chat app. Before we rebuild, actually, or sorry, before we sync to the S3 bucket, now that we've rebuilt, let's actually try running it locally first. So we could do that with this command, serve as build, and we could check to see if this works locally. Hello, help me with my order. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so that's still not working. Okay, so what's the other thing that we want to try? I want to return something. If we enter an order number, then it's supposed to respond. Okay, let me think. Why is this not updating? What did we miss? What did we miss? What did we miss? Any suggestions? As always, feel free to just call them out or pop into your head. Um, what did I miss? I must have missed something. I rebuilt it. we've already verified. Oh, the version number maybe. Let's look at our config, but we're not specifying version number here. We're just specifying the bot ID. Um, Rebuilding should update all this. Useful at all. These scripts in here. When do these ever get run? So this setup.sh is actually what calls the Python. Yeah. Let's see. No, this gets run first. And all this does is it runs npm install. Um, shouldn't need to rerun that. What does validate do? It's like literally a script that just runs Terraform validate. Is that all this does? Interesting. I mean, it pretty much just runs Terraform format. It doesn't even run Terraform format. It runs a Terraform format check and then tells you to run Terraform format manually when it could have just as easily ran Terraform format on its own. Okay, but this isn't going to help us. What the hell is going on? Let's see. I Robbie, where are you at? Have you gotten past your error messages?
No, I just destroyed it and I'm doing activating everything again.
Hmm.
Uh, so we'll see where that goes.
Okay. I forgot to run my Terraform apply, didn't I? I ran the Terraform apply earlier. I don't know if this is going to solve it because I know I ran it earlier and it still didn't give us the results that we wanted. So, but I'm going to try anyway. I'm going to rerun the Terraform, rerun the npm build. What else? Oh, right. Sometimes, let's try serving this first. Sometimes local build can get stale. Uh, help me. Actually, no, I want to do this one. I want to return something. RD 345. Okay. And I don't really think anything in the dev console is going to help us right now. Right. The only other idea that I had was to delete the build and rebuild. So let's try that. All right, so to delete our build is literally just grabbing that build folder that it creates and deleting it. So we could do it through the UI, we could do it through the CLI. Let's move that out of the way. And then we can rebuild. Then we could serve. Mm, Let's see here.
Random ass question on your ORD 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does it matter if it's in uppercase or lower?
Good question. I don't think it should. Let's try it. Yeah.
Or I just didn't know if you had anything in your regex that said it needed to be in one case or another.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't remember. I'd have to check. It's not taking either of these though. So I'm wondering if we updated the Terraform, which should have confirmed that the Lambda updated, right? And if that had updated and we rebuilt, we also verified earlier that we didn't need to update the version number inside of React. So what could be the problem? Okay. All right.
Have
So
you tried the Terraform delete and then reinit?
I could. And are you talking about deleting like the entire Terraform directory?
Yeah,
Or
just uh you've already got your files sitting there, so destroy the current section and uh reinit and let it rebuild this entire system.
yeah. I'm gonna rebuild first before I destroy the or sorry, I'm gonna rerun apply. I'm gonna try rerunning apply first without deleting the Terraform. So this may result in some different values. We might have to update uh, index.js, right? No, index config.js. And I'm also going to delete this. Okay. What we need is identity pool, which bot ID is the bot ID is different now, so let's update that. Alias ID, I forget where we grabbed that from. So from the Lex CLI setup.py, which gets run here. Okay. Bot ID has been updated. The Lambda ARN. I think we need to definitely update that Lambda ARM again. So let's, it's probably going to be empty. Okay, cool. Um, how did we grab that earlier? I'm already forgetting. This is not the right README at all. Let's see. This is from the afternoon, so it's probably from this morning. Okay. Outputs found. Okay, so let's set our lambda R into this. And our, what was it, bot ID? Whoops. Well, I just need to not include that equal sign. Bot ID equals this. And now I can run that Python again, wherever it is. Okay. I'm in the wrong directory. Okay, so this should update everything. Did I do this really? I did, right? I could have sworn I did. Or no, I think I skipped this, didn't I? I went straight into the build earlier. Maybe. Yeah, I think I did skip this. I think that's what I skipped. Or am I going crazy? Is this what I ran on the other terminal? I think I did run this on the other terminal. Yeah, because we were running into that timeout issue and we updated to 20 seconds. So it still might not work, basically. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, right. Since we have spent some time on this and we are waiting, let's see what Claude has to say. Okay. What should I ask it? We are trying to get, what are we trying to get here? We're trying to get, oh shoot, I didn't save this. I might have to rerun this, maybe. Or no, that shouldn't matter. This saving this affects the build, so I'll rebuild after the Python script runs. Um, and oh, cool. Well, I got an error. Not cool. All right, so this is going to be a bit of a doozy. So now we're running into things essentially. We had the issue of the response not matching what we expected, and that was inside a return request. So let's include that. Let's also include something else that we updated, which is the intents Terraform file. Okay. And let's explain our scenario. So we updated the Lex intents TF file and return request JS in our React front end. We were expecting a new response that recognizes an order number, but we are not getting the response we expect. We tried rebuilding, reapplying, we tried destroying and reapplying Terraform. And now we are getting this latest error. Actually, this latest error came what after the after the Lex script. So we might want to include that as well. So we tried destroying and replying with Terraform. We then reran our setup script. And now we are getting this latest error. Okay, cool. This should be enough info. Oh, let's give it one more thing. Yeah, let's give it a screenshot. There we go. That'll be the cherry on the top. All right, let's see what it says. For those of you that don't use Claude or don't use Claude Desktop, one of the cool things about using this or Codex or Cursor or any like desktop tool is being able to give the agent direct access to your code. So let's see. Config's fine. The problem is purely environmental. That's what it believes, at least. Okay. Ooh, look at the garbage inside the failing API. Okay, what is it saying? Okay, so that latest error that we got was from destroying and reapplying and skipping some steps before the reapply. So we're already in this directory, so we don't need that. We did this, right? Like I'm going crazy here. Like, yeah, I see the bot ID, I see the ARN, and then I I pasted those values into here.
Hey, Julius,
Yep.
when you did your export, you actually put lambda art equals, not lambda arn.
Jesus, good catch. Okay. Me and my sloppy typing. Okay. So let's verify this time. Okay. And then just so as a sanity check, we'll check the other one too. And then we'll rerun our script. And okay, it's trying to be helpful, but I don't really want that. How many guys use Claude Desktop?
I might have to start.
Right on.
I've been using Grok. It's been doing pretty good.
Really? I haven't tried that one out.
That one I can link directly into my GitHub,
Mhm.
and it can also access my code.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so it wants us to do these. And what are we doing with these exactly? We export these and then we export these before we rerun the build, I think. And build, oh no, I'm in the wrong directory again. Oh man, all these different directories. No, yeah, this is right directory. Let me make sure. Let me just export these here as well, and just to be, oops, byte, beat, not vote. Oh, snap. Okay, so right, and we're having that same issue basically. And one of the annoying things about how this was written, like the whole like doing it into terminals, is we get the Terraform variables in one terminal, but not the other. We could export them to our Zeech profile, but we can also do it the quick and dirty way manually. So we should get that here. We should be able to see that as well. Uh, just run both of these together. And then Vite Cognito and go Vite bot. Oh, right. We don't need the bot alias. It's actually showing us right there what that is. Uh, okay. So, did we need to update this? I'm like forgetting again if we did. I think we do. So our Cognito identity pool has changed. Let's give it our new value. And our bot ID has also, oh, wait, no, it hasn't. It's a lie. All right, so that's the same. Save, now rebuild. Now, what are we doing? Oh, right, we can serve it locally, test. Now we got a new issue, so let's see what's going on. Got a 304, we got a, oh, no, let's try again. Alias might be different, maybe. It's the wild guess. Is it something else? So we didn't get any errors when we built, right? So it said compiled successfully. Did we skip a step before the build? Before the build, we ran the Python script, right? And that succeeded. That's what gave us these new values. Pot alias ID. Has that changed? That did change. We forgot to update that. So let's go back to our config. Let's update the bot alias ID and let's rebuild again. And let's serve help with burger. Okay, it's thinking. Sign. Cool. Let's first try something that, fuck, still, still not giving us the response we want. Oh, it was 5 digits. Okay, right. Let's get some more help. Claude. Okay. I don't feel like giving it too much more instruction. We've updated and fixed our environment variables. And but we are still receiving the same error. Right, it's reading through our code. So it's telling us that this generic message is just a fallback, which is basically, which we already know. And that basically that means Lex is not returning any message. So either the intent isn't matching or the Lambda code hook isn't actually wired. Did we forget the... Oh, bot aliases exist at all? How did it reach that conclusion? Okay, so it ran this. Is it using the right um is it using the right bot ID? That was ending in SAL. We run it ourselves. Whoops. We're getting results, so I don't know what it's talking about. Well, it used the wrong profile, but it's correcting itself. Hey, it's having trouble. I think it's commands. Let's see. Okay, got it right this time. Let's see. Oh, is that what I'm missing? The order number slot? Where was that? Okay, I know we added this. Oh, did I delete that line? Did I accidentally delete both lines? Where was that again? That was inside of order status.js. No, it's there, right? There's the validation. Slots are defined. All right, let's see. Where is Claude at? It's not the environment variables, the alias, or the lambda wiring. All of that is good. The proof is order number slot is never created. Looks intense. So where did this get skipped? On day 2, that's the README. The README from today. Oh, oh, let's see. All right, so the lesson was going over some multi-turn dialogue patterns, and it's explaining how in V1, well, no, in V2, you control the prompt text and separate slot resources. Order status might need an order number, which is aligned with what we were doing. Yeah, this looks like what we had done. Oh, model slot. Was that not in the lab? Oh, it was in the lab. So it must have been in the lesson, but not the lab. Okay. No, not there either. Unless it was on earlier this week. No. Oh, day 2 was when the slots were added. I wonder if I had just missed that in my version. Okay, so it's adding the slot where inside of Lex Intents. So that lines up with what Claude was telling us it's missing from intents. So let's go back to intents. Let's verify. Yep, it's not here. So let's grab what we're missing. One well-known gotcha is slot priority lives on the intent, but the slot needs the intent to exist first, a circular reference. So the standard workaround is two-stage apply. Yikes. Okay. Why can't we use depends on? Okay, so there's intent. I guess because this is circular, depends on, will not work here. Got some other suggestions. Let's go with the two-stage apply, which is annoying and not great. It's not a good term, like long-term solution. Like we'll do it now, but ideally you should never be satisfied with having to do like a two-step apply in any pipeline. It's just very janky, but we'll do it right now. So what does it want us to do? It wanted us to create slots, then add slot priority to the intent. So slot priority. We don't even use that, do we? Why is it even suggesting that? That's interesting. 10 ID, which we have. Our models, 10's customer service. And we're not adding slot priority. Let's just not add slot priority. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and reapply. I hate when it does that. Okay, cool. I don't think we should have to update anything. Here's the bot ID. I do believe that's the same. Yep, bot alias ID. It's all the way up there. Oh no. Fuck. More errors.
Yeah, this is what I've been getting.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm kind of lost. So I tried destroying and redo or just doing the all the steps that we did from the lab.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's telling us it's a bug in the provider, which means it's kind of outside of our hands. Okay, so we're gonna have to look for a workaround if it's outside of our hands. It's the provider itself that where the error lives. Let's see. Okay, it's okay. One, we aren't going. Will drop the slot priority, and we are running into a provider issue and need a workaround. Ah, okay. Interesting. So when you give it a minimal prompt specification, the Lex API fills in a bunch of computed defaults and 3 full prompt attempt specifications, blocks for initial retry 1 and retry 2. The provider can't reconcile those server-side defaults against the plan, so it throws inconsistent results. The reliable workaround is to explicitly declare everything the API will compute. Shoot, okay. So it's editing less intense for us. Let's take a look at this. Where did it change? It looks like it changed right here. Explicitly declare the values, selects API computes. API always materializes exactly these three. I'm basically trying to review what it's giving us just to make sure it's not gaslighting us. And it looks legit. Okay, what else does it say? So it wants us to rerun the apply. And we would need to Okay, just rerun the same flow that we've been rerunning. All right, let's give it a go. There you go. Magic. It worked. Okay, thank you, Claude. Well, actually, let's not think it yet. Let's see if we can get through these last few steps. Okay, this should be the same, hopefully. Ooh, nice. It's actually including all these for us. Okay, that's the same, right? We've looked at this enough times to know that's the same. This should also be the same, which means if we still have those values here, then we can reuse them. Yep. Now let's rerun this. Let's rerun it in the right directory. And just as a sanity check, we'll check that one more time. Okay. Womp womp. All right, we got it. Status failed. At this point, it's let's also feed it the updated Terraform just so it has it. And it should be able to infer that we ran this first, then we ran our other command and it failed. Okay, let's see if we can beat it. Okay, so if it's the setup script that failed, we know that it failed around after the second building bot locale draft. Our sleep, we did not update the sleep here, but it had never failed before here. Um, okay, it's still thinking. I really don't think it's a timing issue, but it doesn't hurt to fiddle around with things. Yep, it was not a timing issue. Let's undo that change. The real final blocker, it's a build rule. In intent return request, or it's saying slot IDs in intent return request does not define a slot priority. It literally told us earlier that we could just drop the slot priority. Okay, but it's acknowledging that it was wrong. Now, this is interesting. And I definitely don't remember running into this last cohort.
Was last cohort also using Lex V2?
Hmm. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, Troy or Kim, but yeah, last cohort, we were using V2 because we ran into the Lex issues early on that V1 had already started getting deprecated. So we had to sort of scramble to change everything in the V2. And again, because these are very young services that are still going through a lot of changes, um, this is essentially just a normal part of the process, right? Like we saw earlier that the errors we were getting were on the provider side. So something that the Terraform, well, either AWS or Terraform, whoever designed these um, providers and the code, somewhere a change broke something, and we're witnessing it firsthand. Let's see. So what did we just do? Oh, we're still waiting on it. All right. So now it's updated our script to attach slot priorities. And let's see how it did that. Let's see. Okay, so it added 32 lines. What were those lines? Like it's not showing the diff here. Let's see. Well, so I don't know why my syntax highlighting, all of that stuff isn't working right now. And I don't know why it's not showing me the code changes. So I'm going to have to just figure my way through this. I'm going to to Command Z and Shift Command Z to sort of like flip back and forth. All right, so I'm seeing that this is changed. Before we just had the message, the plain message, and now we are adding all of this stuff. This looks like it pretty much just aligns with what it had added in the Terraform file. Wait, no, this is the same Terraform file. So what did it do this time? Oh, wait, I'm clicking the wrong file still. What the hell? Why did it not, it didn't open the right file. So let me do it this way. Oh, no, but why the hell is it not opening it up? Come on, there we go. All right, so what did it do? Right. So we used to be 265 lines, now we're 297. Where did it change? Okay, so we had step 3, we had step 4, the same. Okay, it looks like it added all this stuff here. Or did it add? Okay, yeah, looks like list slots is new, and that gets called down here. So every slot on an intent must have a slot priority or the locale build fails. So what it's doing is it's creating that list slots method and it's calling it. So now that has a list of the slots, it is creating a payload, which I'm thinking is just a dictionary where slot priorities, right? Payload is a dictionary. Slot priorities is a new key. Its value is going to be the list of slots. And okay, we're just validating the intent against the payload. Okay, looks good to me, I guess. Let's see. Where are we at? How do you want to handle the remaining return flow issues, wrong lambda, and web confirmation? What are they talking about? Okay, so that's the problem that we originally reported. Apparently it's fixed. So what is it pointing out now? Return request never executes. The message we got back comes from order status return request branch. which ignores the captured slot and has no denying handle. Okay, so we added slots. The code didn't support the slots, so now we have to update the code to support the slots. Confirmation prompt is gone. The first failed script run had wiped it via the minimal update intent. So okay, basically it ran describe intent, and we need to update our Terraform to reflect those changes. Okay, we've been here for a while, so let's let Claude do the work. Create one router, Lambda branches on intent name. Do we really need that? Why is it recommending that? Sure, let's try it. Okay, so when you are working with Claude locally, it's very good practice to be working in a Git repository so that you can commit your changes every once in a while and you can roll back to commit if things go wrong. If, for example, we allow Claude to take us down a bad path, like we don't know if what it's been adding is going to work for sure. It sounds like it is, but it's also pointed out these two additional errors. And until we actually run these and test it out, we won't know for sure whether it's going to work or if it's just going to be wasting more of our time. So that's why you want to get in the habit of using Git. Of course, I didn't do that, right? So let's see. If I wanted to do that right now, it's very simple. Let's say I want tflex to be my Git directory. I'm going to do a git init, and now we have a Git repository. Easy peasy. Now I could add all, and then I could commit, and I could say something like, let me actually make a branch. Let me say something like, let's do minor. So major, minor, patch versioning is a standard practice in the world of engineering. And basically what it is a three uh, section version number, right? So what's great is if you follow these standards, then you could very easily communicate to others on your team what your intentions are, right? So this branch is going to be named minor, indicating that it's a minor change. It's more than a patch, but it's still backwards compatible, so it's not a major change. It's going to be a minor change. And I'm going to describe it as adding slots, intent slots. And then I'm going to commit. So if things go wrong, then we could just roll back to an earlier version. Okay. All right. Let's see if it's going to take too much longer, then we might as well just break. But it looks like it might be done. So, okay. Everything validates. All the code is done. The remaining steps touch your shared bot. Oh, and another thing, like when you're again, like when you're asking Claude for help, it can get, or any agent really, right? It can get tedious, but at the very least, try to read through what it's doing so you can have some understanding, some grasp, some feel, even if you don't like fully understand what it's doing. Uh, put in what effort you can into both validating whether or not it looks totally off, and B, just really familiarizing yourself with um, what it's doing, why it's doing. You'll learn about different ways to troubleshoot, different things to look at. B, you'll learn what not to do if it's doing something wrong. So always, always, always keep your agents on a short leash. And it looks like you just need to rerun apply, rerun our script, and it's even providing our sanity check for us. Thank you, Claude. Okay. Fingers crossed that this finally works. And while that is waiting, let's go ahead and make sure this is open because the last thing that I want to cover is the assessment. If I can find it. I thought it was here. Where is it? Here we are, assessment 2. I'm going to go ahead and edit this README so that it now has assessment 2. And be found here. I always mix up. I think this is wrong. I think it's backwards. Let me see. Yep, backwards. This, I think, is what the markdown syntax wants. Nope, that's not right either. Oh, I could look at it here. What was I doing wrong? Oh, I think I just needed to not use quotes. Okay, cool. So I'm going to update this. You'll now have access to assessment 2. Commit. Oh, probably should have done that through the terminal. Better practice to do it through the terminal. But here we are. And cool. This finished. It didn't fail. So let's try one more time. We're going to build and then we're going to serve. Damn. Damn. Okay. 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 Not cool, Claude. All right. Well, we gave it a shot, and I'm gonna keep working on it on my own for a bit to see what the hell's going on here. And assessment 2 is gonna be, you guessed it, Terraform. Uh, it's going to evaluate your understanding of the infrastructure as code concepts that we've covered in this past module. And it's going to evaluate your familiarity with the AWS AI services that we covered. That would be Lex, Poly, Comprehend. I don't think we did recognition. I think we referenced recognition as stretch goals and some of the challenges, if I remember correctly. But It's a stretch goal here as well. You don't have to use all of these services. Which ones you use is up to you. If you want to use all these services, by all means, the outline is your Terraform configuration is going to make up 1/5 of your score. So you need to set up and utilize a remote backend with DynamoDB and S3. You need to write the necessary configurations to allow for public access. And of course, things that help, like outputs and validation. We'll need you to run your Terraform apply and destroy when you present your assessment. So be sure to test these out beforehand. Don't just build once with apply at the start and then never run destroy. Run apply and destroy before you present just to make sure that you can. What else? Next, AI service integration. That's going to be 25% of the score. So it says at least two AI services here, but I think I remember now actually. Um, because Lex has more complexity than Poly and Transcribe, you could actually have any of these options. Like you could use comprehend and recognition, Poly, or Transcribe. Or if you're using Lex, you could just use Lex. I need to maybe change this wording a bit. Um, integrate either, where is it? Come on, where is it? Either Lex or at least to AWS services from this list. Okay, better. So yes, one of these three options. And again, you can mix and match if you want. Probably should have added that. You'll also need to configure the right IAM roles and permissions. If you're blocked, of course, let us know. There shouldn't be any issues, but you never know. Database configuration. You can set up RDS and that is an option. You also have the option, of course, of using DynamoDB or PostgreSQL. Uh, let's see. And then you'll need to deploy your application. So that'll be another 1/5 of your total score. And you'll need to have a front end that users can interact with. And finally, documentation and presentation. So clear documentation. When you have your repo, I mean, what you should be doing, right, is um, let's do this right now, actually. Let me share this link with everyone. I'm going to do this in Slack, wherever Slack is. Yeah, so pull up your terminals so we could all do this. I don't know where Slack is. Did Slack close? Not opening for some reason. Oh wait, no, there it is. It's just being slow. Let's see. Platoon. Here's our class channel. Come on. All right. The URL is here. What you're going to do is you're going to grab this repo. So let's copy it right now. Ooh. You'll get a bonus point if you fork. So let's fork the repo. And it's better practice. Again, it's just another layer of version control. And it's not that much more of additional work, right? With this practice with a fork, you can pull and push from both the source repository and the fork. So if your changes are going through your fork before it ever hits the main repository, that's the additional layer of version control and change tracking. So in our local environment, we are going to go to some clean, fresh repository where you're gonna put your I don't know, assessments. So let's say maybe I want to put mine inside of a directory called assessments. I'm going to cd into that directory, and then I'm going to clone my fork, not the source, but my fork. So make sure that it's your GitHub handle here. Git clone, and now I have this on my local machine. And basically, when you have a Git repository, your documentation is going to start at the README. So let's open this up. Let's go into this directory, and we'll see that there's not actually a README in here, I believe. So AICO Delta. Oh, it's still called Delta. Whoops. Should have changed that. I'll change it later. And right, I'm going to make a README. Oh, it does have a README actually. So it's got a README. And this is what you're going to want to updates. Yeah, you'll probably just want to like delete all of this maybe. Yeah, because it'll be in the original repo anyway. Or if you want, you could do something like, I don't know, rename README to instructions, and then make a fresh README. And now you're going to write some documentation. So in my fresh README, which opened in a totally different window, what is going on? Oh, I made it in the wrong directory, didn't I? Shoot. Wait, no. Why is it not here? Okay. Just going to do it this way. Got my README, markdown syntax, hash is going to be your title, your H1 header, whatever you're going to call your app, my Lex chatbot app, and then you're just going to describe your app. My Lex chatbot app is a Lex chatbot app, and you're going to describe its architecture. My Lex chatbot app uses Lex and uses AWS. Of course, you're gonna put in more effort than this, but this is the gist of it, right? You'll maybe want to like include a section for how to use one, um, add your environment variables to run Terraform. What else? Anything else that you can think of? The more detail you put in, the more helpful it is, the better you'll score on this portion. Like you could even include a diagram here, right? And maybe that's a mermaid diagram. So I'm going to be doing that in Python. So more or less, this is what you're going to want to do for your documentation and get in the habit of doing this regularly, at least, at the very least, for the assessments. Okay. Any questions? Nope. We're good. Cool. All right. Thank you all for sticking around. We've been here for a while.
Sorry, Julius, I do have a question.
Sure.
So we've complete the so we build our project and then we let an instructor know that we want to present.
Yep.
And then so what does that look like? We go to a breakout room and then do we do it in front of the class or do we do it in a breakout room? And then are you all just shooting questions at us or how's that look?
Yeah.
What's that look like?
It's going to be a breakout room. I mean, ideally, it'd be great. It could be like a whole class critique, but that's going to just take up way too much time for everybody. So it's just one-on-one with the instructors. And basically, we let you start. So you can go about it like however you feel most comfortable. If you write good documentation, like that could just really become like your script, right? Your skeleton, and you can just follow that. And if there's anything in the rubric that you just didn't hit or that you missed, we'll remind you. We'll be like, hey, can you look at so and so? Can you show me where the Lambda configuration is? Something along those lines.
Okay, sounds good. And also, could you provide me the questions that'll be asked? That way it'll make it go smoothly for both of us.
We, I don't know how the other instructors do it. I generally improvise. I don't like actually have myself like a list of questions that I want to ask. I mean, I know what's on the rubric. I know what I'm looking for, and I just ask on the spot. It should feel like a conversation. It shouldn't feel like maybe it should feel a little bit like a technical interview, but don't stress too much about it. It's in my opinion, uh, actually easier than like the full stack programs assessments because I mean, like we point you in the direction of things that you might have missed. And if you fail, retakes are super easy. You're just expanding on your code. Like you're fixing what was missing or was broken, and then you're just presenting again, right? So really, these assessments should be no sweat. And they utilize so much of what the labs do. Like you could straight up take what you've done in some of these labs and reuse them in the assessment. What matters to us, what we're looking for, is your ability to string it all together and to speak to it.
How many bonus points do you get for presenting early, and when is the deadline for that presenting early?
Sure. There's no deadline for presenting early. You guys get a week, right? So releasing today, you have all of Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday next week to present. So end of day Saturday. Um, if like you queue up,
We're not here next Saturday, Julius.
right, Wednesday and Friday, because Saturday is 4th of July, classes are going to be on Wednesday and Friday, if no one's mentioned that yet. Thank you for reminding me. So yes, got a full week this week, but it's your assessment week, so it's really a lot of your time, right? Like still show up to class so you could be here and ask questions so the TAs and instructors can help and guide anyone that needs help. And that reminds me, look, I don't even think we figured out the schedule for the instructors, which we'll have to do. But yes, that is the gist of it. Am I missing anything? Oh, right. Robbie also asked how the extra points for presenting early works. So basically, every day you present early from the last day, Saturday, is like an extra point. So Thursday is just one extra point. Tuesday is two extra points. And again, because we're not going to be here on Saturday, it kind of like changes things up. Um, we're probably going to treat Thursday and Friday like Saturday. So I don't know. Maybe we'll improvise. Maybe we'll add an extra bonus point. But basically, same thing goes. The sooner you do it, the more bonus points you get. So let's say if it's due on Friday, because 4th of July this year on Saturday. Thursday is one bonus point, Wednesday is two bonus points, Tuesday is three bonus points, and Monday is four bonus points. I really don't think anybody, well, actually, no, you guys have all weekend. So if you really wanted to go at it like until Monday, then by all means. And then you essentially get the rest of the week off, right? So, or the rest of the week to chill and catch up on anything that you're behind on. Plus, if you're here on VA's dime, then you have to show up, even if you're done with everything. I mean, that just, they'll yell at us otherwise. But any more questions?
Do we have a retro today since we're not here next Saturday?
Good call. Did you guys do a retro last week?
Week before.
Okay, let's do a retro. Let's do one right now. Are you guys cool with that? Or do you want to like jump into breakout rooms or anything?
So, and not to, we can't let Ashley off the hook. So we do have a demo.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you, Troy. Ashley is going to demo something then, and then she's going to pick somebody else to demo for next week or next day. And then we'll do a retro. Did I cut the
Okay. Am I doing it right now or are we doing the retro? Then I'm doing it.
Let's have you do it right now. And also,
Okay.
have you guys been recording these? Did I just cut the recording? No, it's still going. Have you guys been recording these?
We haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still sort of, I think, setting our pace
Oh,
and content for these. So it's been sort of very open to what the student would like to demo.
okay. Cool. 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 I'm gonna cut the recording because it's really long. Like I normally don't like for recordings to even be over like 45 minutes. It's like 2 hours. I'm gonna cut it. Unless anyone really, really feels strongly about having it be recorded. Okay.
I'm not pressed. You can stop it.
No,